Hello guys, welcome back to Pretty and Prepared podcast. Today we're going to be talking all about unsubscribing from social media. As someone who works on social media and I basically have my entire life on there, I want to share that there are ways you can still unsubscribe from technology, the drama, the lifestyle, the image of everything that we see online. And today I'm actually going to be diving into 3 different subtopics about social media. So first I'm going to be chatting about why we care so much about social media, the perks and the downsides of it, and then I want to talk about the ways that we can disconnect without feeling guilty or anxious, because I know that I am someone who definitely feels that way a lot. And lastly, I'm going to just be touching upon how this has benefited me and why we can't let social media define us. So let's hop right in. Life can throw crazy curveballs your way and you never know what tomorrow will bring, but one thing you can do is try to be prepared. Pretty and Prepared is a podcast hosted by me, Pamela Valdez, all about being the best version of yourself while preparing for the life you want and deserve. With this podcast, we are targeting millennials, content creators, students, creative individuals, and more looking to gain insight on all things social media, living your best life, self-confidence, love, building your career from the ground up, landing internships, secrets to working with brands, and so much more. Tune in every Monday at 8 a.m. for a brand new episode. Today's episode is actually inspired by something that happened to me earlier. And I just finished reading this book that I have literally been trying to read and finish reading since I think February. And guys, when I read a book, it does not take me over a week to read it unless I'm truly really uninterested or just nothing is going on in the book. But I am a very quick reader, and if I really like a book, I could even get it done in 3 days max. And this book took me over a month to read. It's not because it was boring. It's not because I didn't find the topic interesting. It was literally because I was so focused on a million other things, and of course, you guessed it, social media. Over the last few months, I know I talked about it in a previous episode, I have been in a really weird rut, and I was kind of going through this funk where I didn't know what was going on. I did not have a good entry into 2023, and there was just a lot going on in my personal life, and then social media was also getting a little overwhelming just because I'm someone who likes to take on a million projects all at once and overwork myself. So social media, my personal life, school, everything was literally just spilling into each other, and I physically did not have any time to read. And today, I actually finally finished the book within the last 2 days. I think I read the last 300 pages because I just could not get through the first 100 pages with everything that I was doing. And I kid you not, I got through the last 300 pages through a breeze. And when I finished reading that book and I closed it, I got this overwhelming feeling of happiness and so much excitement because not only was it such an amazing book, if you didn't hear previously, I just finished reading Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings. And that book, just closing it, finishing it, relishing in the ending made me so happy because I genuinely love reading, and not being on my phone and just reading about these characters and being transported to a whole nother planet basically when you read, it just made me so excited. I genuinely love reading so much, and that feeling that I haven't gotten in so long because I've been doing so many other things, finally having it back was just so good. And that inspired me to make today's episode, because if you guys are also struggling with unsubscribing from social media and just that entire world, you are not alone. For the longest time, I've always loved social media, YouTube, Instagram, Vine, Twitter, you name it, and I have been on there, or I currently am, and it's just so fun. In the beginning, I loved posting online. I even had a Finsta in high school, and I literally would just post whatever I wanted. I had a fan page on Twitter because I was obsessed with going to concerts. And now in college, I'm in my influencer era, if you want to call it that, where I work with brands, I make money online, I go to really cool influencer events, I connect with amazing people, I have an awesome audience, and now I obviously take myself a lot more seriously than how I did before. But I feel like so many of us care about social media because you can essentially create this whole identity online and people don't even have to know you. A lot of people just assume like that they know you from what you post online, and it's literally because of this entire identity that we create for ourselves. And at the same time, this can be so deceiving because we see it all the time with celebrities and influencers photoshopping and portraying this false image online for people that follow them. And I'm not going to lie and say that I've never touched up a photo before, especially in high school. I hated myself. I hated how I looked. I was so not confident. So I'm not going to sit here and be like I was so confident even when I was in high school and middle school. Like, no, I wasn't. I definitely touched up a few photos here and there. And now I'm at a point where I don't care if I have a breakout on my face. I don't care if my hair looks out of place, if my outfit isn't as good. Like, I just like sharing my life online and I like doing it the unfiltered version. Some of the benefits, though, of being on social media is, take me, for example. I was on it for fun for so many years, and now I've been able to turn it into my mini business. Like, I literally pay taxes for all of my brand deals. I work with amazing brands that I could have only ever dreamed of working with. I go to influencer events. Like, I have essentially turned posting online for fun into my business, which I am so grateful for because as a college student, it truly does help being able to make extra money. But then this can quickly be turned into a toxic cycle where, like I mentioned earlier, you take on so many things, you have less time for yourself, and you just feel like a working animal with like all these brands that are like, hey, you have to submit this today, or hey, we haven't gotten this for approval. Like, after I finished reading my book, I had an actual to-do list of things that I needed to do today, and I was like, girl, you need to go and edit that TikTok, you need to go and do this, film the voiceover, edit the video. Like, you have actual responsibilities to be doing and not sitting on the couch reading in the middle of the day. So I went and I did that, and I definitely have a lot more accountability with myself now. But it can definitely get to a point where if you overwork yourself, it's not even going to be fun anymore. And I thankfully have never been at a burnout point that was so low that I literally was like, I just want to quit everything. But I have had points where it does get very overwhelming and I really needed to step back and take a break. And this takes me into what I want to talk about next, which is that we kind of feel this power when we're online and this addiction that can lead us to wanting to be on our phone and on social media 24/7. And then when you're not, you can feel this guilt and this anxiety that you're literally not able to be on Instagram or TikTok and not being able to post something online. I am obsessed with posting everything in my life because as an influencer, you basically have to share everything. Like, I share when I'm out eating, when I'm on vacation. I essentially share like everything online. And I know a lot of other creators can relate to this as well because you feel like you have this role that you have to uphold. And if you don't post everything and make everything that you do about content, then you're essentially missing out. I am here to break that narrative and that anxiety. So if you feel that way, I've actually written down some tips on how I disconnect from social media to have a healthy relationship with it. And don't be misled and think that this is something I learned overnight and that I was able to establish this so quickly. Like, no, this has taken me years to finally master. And obviously I still have some days where I want to be on TikTok for like 7 hours, but I'm not going to do that. And so I want to just share with you guys some tips on how I'm able to disconnect, and hopefully this can help you as well. Something recently that I've been doing is giving myself a goal for the day with content. And when it's done, I don't go on it as much. So by this, I mean TikTok, for example, I have a goal for myself. I want to post at least 3 videos a day. That is my goal. I have an audience on there and I have so much content in my drafts and things that need to go up. So my minimum for myself is 3 videos a day. I could definitely do more. I could even post less if I want, but I just feel like 3 a day is good. And so what I usually do is I'll post once, close the app, continue doing what I'm doing in real life, open it up again, see how the video is doing, post another video, close it out, keep doing what I'm doing, and then I'll post my last video for the day. After I've met this goal for myself and after I have reached my 3 daily videos, there's really no reason for anything else for me to be on that app unless I want to mindlessly scroll. And I know for me, 5 minutes turns into 10, then 15, then 20, and then you get sucked in and you're scrolling. And this is actually called doom scrolling, which is something that I just learned, and I didn't know that I used to do it, but it's been a huge thing that I've been seeing other creators talk about online. And it's essentially when you go on a mindless scroll streak and you just keep going through videos mindlessly without realizing it, and hours go by. And in the summer, I do this especially because I don't really have as many responsibilities. Like, I literally just do social media, and last summer and the summer before that, I did have a summer job, but this summer I am not sure if I'm going to be doing like random things here and there in the city, just like freelance work, or if I'm just going to get a summer job. Like, I really don't know what this summer is going to bring, but essentially when I have nothing to do at night because there's no school during the day and I'm free all day, I just love to be on that app for 2 hours, 3 hours. And it sounds really bad now, but in that moment when you're just going through the app, you're like, oh, it's only been 20 minutes. And then you check and it has not been 20 minutes. So just cutting off the app after I have reached my daily posting goal has been super helpful for me. So if you guys want to try that out, I definitely would recommend doing that, especially if you're a creator. Another thing that I do is I limit myself by the time during the day. So I don't go on social media anymore after 8 p.m. Obviously, if I have a brand deal and I have to do last minute edits or something has to go up or I have to send something to my manager, I will definitely do that because that is work and I'm literally under a legal contract. But I only rarely ever have to do that, at least like once every other week, because once content gets sent in for approval, you don't have to like do anything else. You just wait for the piece to be approved by the brand. And so I decided that after 8 p.m. I'm no longer going to be going on social media. I've been doing this for the past, I don't know, maybe 4 weeks now. And I also try to time myself to be in bed by 9/9:30 and hopefully be asleep by 10. This is something that has been life-changing, is giving myself a bedtime. I remember I used to be so mad at my mom in middle school and high school because she would take my phone after a certain time and be like, okay, it's time for bed. And I would hate her for it because I would literally be like, I'm not tired. I don't want to go to sleep. And now here I am, a 20-year-old girl in college giving myself my own bedtime. And it's literally because I've just realized if I don't get my full hours of sleep, like if I don't properly get at least 8 hours or more sleeping, I'm not going to have the energy the next day to pay attention in class, to want to get up out of bed. I'm going to snooze my alarm. And this is just something I've learned about my body. There's other people out there who only need 6 hours. Some people only need 5. I am someone, I genuinely need at least 8 hours or more to really, really feel energized, because the amount of things that I do in one day is really just all over the place. But staying up late, I realized there is no benefit at all to staying up late. I used to even save brand deals to shoot at night. I used to do homework so late at night, and I just realized it's not worth it. It is not worth losing my sleep over when I can just go to sleep earlier, wake up earlier, and get a head start to my day and actually start doing things productive and getting things done. Something else that I do is I will let myself go on Pinterest or YouTube and I'll watch a lifestyle blog or something that can soothe my mind before I go to bed. and not watch a million different TikTok videos, because I'm telling you guys, I get so anxious at night. I don't know what it is, but I will literally have like full-blown panic attacks at night because I overthink my entire life. Like as soon as I'm in my bed, lights are off and I'm just alone with my thoughts, I get so anxious, and I sometimes have to literally like wake up and sit up in my bed and make myself relax, and it's really bad. So I realized if I want to stop these kind of like anxiety panic attacks, I need to stop being on my phone and get my mind in a calm mindset before my head hits that pillow. Which again takes me back to what I said earlier, which is after 8 o'clock, no more social media, because there's really nothing that I can look at or even think about. And then even better, when I get in bed, I'm not going to keep going on TikTok or Instagram, because you know that you've had one of those nights where you'll see a girl having like a productive day and you're like, well, I didn't do anything good with my day, so tomorrow I'm going to start and I'm going to have like that it girl lifestyle and I'm going to have that clean girl aesthetic. Like I know that we've all had those nights on Pinterest and everything where we just want to redo our entire lives the next day and order a bunch of stuff from Amazon. But I'm telling you guys, do not fall for that. Don't put your credit card into Amazon and start ordering a bunch of things when you can literally just sleep earlier and have a fresh reset the next day. Something else that I do on social media is I mute, unfollow, or remove people that are not worth my time or day. And I cannot stress this enough. I would tell my friends so many times that I don't have more than half of the people that I know in real life or that I went to school with in the past, like on social media, because the person that I was before, it is not who I am right now. And for example, I didn't have a good middle school or high school experience just for personal reasons. Like it was just not good for me. And probably one of the only good things was meeting my boyfriend and being a part of my school newspaper in high school. Like those were probably some of the only good things that happened to me, because everything else was just a mess and I genuinely don't have any memorable experiences. And literally my senior year of high school, it was the year that COVID hit. So I got that year taken away from me as well, meaning I basically only had like 3.5 years. So it's like, if I didn't have a good middle school or high school experience and I did not like the person that I was during that time, why would I want to follow people or have people online that are going to remind me of that time in my life where I genuinely was not happy? I saw this quote one time, I don't know where it was, but this girl said like, why am I going to be on my phone and I'm gonna let someone else on there bother me when it's literally my phone and I can control anything I want on there? And I was like, that's so true. Like she literally said, why am I gonna be anxious going on my cell phone when this is my life and I can literally just take you off of whatever you are online, like off an Instagram follower or TikTok? And ever since I heard that, I was like, she's literally right. Like, why am I gonna go on my phone where I can do whatever I want and I'm going to be anxious on my phone, if that makes sense? Something else is you can pick up hobbies outside of social media that can serve as a creative outlet or something you can do for fun. So I have a blog, I write posts on there, and that is my creative outlet because I get to talk about fashion, social media, brands, all that stuff. It's so fun. And I have this podcast now where I can sit and actually talk in depth about topics that mean a lot to me that I want to share with the world. And I also read and I journal at night. And again, these are things that I look forward to outside of being on my phone. And I genuinely get excited when I come home from school because I can shower, do my skincare, lather up in lotions, read, journal, and then just sleep. I've also been working out a lot more, at least 3 or 4 times a week, and it has changed my life. Seriously, it has changed my life so much. I was never a girl that liked to work out. Like, you can ask any of my old friends, you can ask my sister. Like, I hated working out. It was not it for me. I was embarrassed of my body, embarrassed of going to the gym and seeing people that I know. Like, I truly was just like, I'm not going to go to a gym where everybody that I went to high school with is going to be there. And so I found my own little community, my own people, and I have my own little workout that I do now. I go to Cycle Bar, which is a spin class, and I'm telling you guys, truly it has changed my life. I've met some of the most amazing people there, and I love just waking up early, getting a workout in. Like today I had my 6:45 class in the morning, and then I go about the rest of my day, and by the time that it is after 7 o'clock, I'm tired and I'm ready to go to sleep and take on the day. Obviously the next day, not that day. If none of these tips you think will work for you, then I want you to try these 3 things. So I want you to write down, what is it that you don't like about social media and why? So for example, maybe you don't like the fake lifestyle and the fake images that people can portray because it could lead to an unrealistic standard for whoever is following them. Next is write down what it is that you see in your life is becoming a problem with social media and how you can fix it. So again, another example is you can maybe you see that at night you're on TikTok very late for hours and you want to fix your sleep schedule. So that is how you're seeing social media is becoming a problem, because now it's interfering with your energy and your sleep time. Lastly is look at your day-to-day life and see how you can try to limit this in between everything that you do. So maybe when you wake up, you don't check your phone first thing in the morning. I actually want to mention, I listened to another podcast by Mel Robbins. It's called the Mel Robbins Podcast. And she always, I kid you not, stresses the importance of a morning routine. And she used this metaphor that I think is really great and it stuck with me. And she basically said, look at your follower count on social media. Maybe you have 20 followers, 200 or 200,000, and think if all of these people were to stand in your room right when you wake up. Like, wouldn't that be incredibly weird and awkward? Like, you literally just woke up and there's 200 people in your room watching you. And she said to compare this to you waking up first thing in the morning and you go on social media. You're letting your followers, you're letting all these people have access to you first thing in the morning. So one thing that I would mention to you is maybe challenge yourself to not go on TikTok or Instagram for the first 2 hours that you wake up and see how long you can hold this. Because when I heard this on her podcast, it genuinely changed my life, and I no longer go on it first thing in the morning. I used to sit in bed for the first, maybe 20 minutes, then my alarm had went off, and I would just go on TikTok, check emails, go on Instagram. And after listening to this episode, after making changes in my life, like, my life has never been better, truly. And I think that if you take some of those last 3 tips into account for yourself and write these things down, you can definitely try to implement it into your life and stick by it. Incorporating all of these tips into my life has helped me so much, guys. Like, I have such a better sleep schedule. I'm not as anxious when I'm on my phone at night, and I wake up with such ease, and I'm not worried about what is on my phone. And genuinely, I'm excited for my days, and limiting how much I am on social media, even you as well, it's just going to bring so much positivity, and you're going to start living for yourself and not just your phone and posting what you ate for breakfast, because I can be super guilty of that, posting everything in my life. But I'm telling you guys, try to implement these things, and please let me know how it goes for you. Maybe 2 weeks from now, after you listen to this episode, let me know if any of these have worked for you, because truly I think that they could change your life. Thank you guys so much for listening to Pretty and Prepared, and make sure to tune in every Monday for new episodes at 8 a.m. and my DMs are open for any podcast episode ideas you guys have, or if you guys just want to talk, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.